David Settle here at Wyopreps.com. Time for another Athlete of the Week feature here. And we reflect back. Last week, we had some winners from girls swimming and diving from a couple weekends ago. This week, we're focusing in on volleyball for our Girls Athlete of the Week. And the honor goes to Avynn Yost, the setter from Douglas High School, who helped the Bearcats to the 3A state championship. And Avynn, I'll start with that. How does it feel to be a state champion, and has it finally sunk in yet?
It's really exciting to be a state championship. I think everybody played just an amazing game. My hitters did really well and they worked really hard, and my passers worked hard to get every ball up.
Has the feeling finally sunk in for you personally?
Yeah, it's just a surreal feeling.
Talk a little bit about, and you kind of alluded to it there, just what was working so well at the state tournament for you running the offense in the show for Coach Rhodes and the Bearcats?
Yeah, so obviously we come to practice every day and we put all we have into practice to just really prepare for every game. I was really excited to play in the state championship, and I knew that no matter what the outcome, that we were all going to play hard and it was going to be a really fun game.
A five-set thriller against a really good Cody team. What do you think the key was that allowed you girls to come away with the title?
Yeah, we never, before state, we had never gone to a five set. And then in the last two to go to five on both, in practice, we worked really hard and just were well conditioned. And then we just leaned on each other and just had a lot of energy and just worked for every point.
What's the key for you in running the offense the way Coach Rhodes and the staff want it?
Yeah, Miss Rhodes is a really awesome coach, and she's taught me so much about setting, and I've learned so much this year. And it's really about just talking to your hitters after every play. What can I adjust on? What can I do better for you? And that's about it.
To kind of back up our point, Avynn ended up with 147 assists over the three matches at the state championships. That's 10 and a half assists per set. Also had 30 digs, 8 kills, 6 aces, and on the season led the Douglas team to a 279 hitting percentage for efficiency. What does that kind of mean to you? I just threw out a bunch of stats, but maybe more than anything, the hitting efficiency. How I guess from your perspective as someone running the show there, how efficient do you think the offense was for Douglas, especially at the state tournament?
Yeah, so it all really starts with the pass, and we have some really great passers. And in the state tournament, they did a really great job. They were there, they worked hard for every ball. And then I try to give my hitters the best opportunity that I can, set them up the best I can, and they just execute and do a really great job.
Talk a little bit about what happens when you're out of system a little bit. The pass doesn't go right. Maybe you end up receiving the pass, so somebody else has to set it. Obviously, you've probably worked through that during the season, but how adept was your team at handling those situations, do you think?
Yeah, so obviously we have practiced those situations before, and they do happen. But our hitters just did a really good job of adjusting if it does happen, and they just did a really great job.
What are you looking for in terms of the offensive distribution? You mentioned your hitters did a great job, but what are you kind of seeing from the opposing team that kind of dictates what you want to do from the setter role?
Yeah, so I try to move the ball around as much as I can, give every hitter the opportunity to swing, and they all just do a good job. So no matter who I'm setting to, they're going to execute.
Are there certain keys on the opposing team that you kind of read?
Yeah, sometimes it just depends on the block or where they set up in defense, but usually I just leave it up to my hitters to decide what they're going to do.
Okay, so fair enough, fair enough. So you end up with a first set win. You mentioned that tough semifinal. How much do you think that prepared you for the tough championship game on, go from Friday night to Saturday afternoon? How much did that prepare you to be ready for something like that on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it prepared us a lot. During that game, we really brought a lot of energy, and we knew going forward that's what we'd have to do, and no point was going to be easy, and we'd have to work for everyone.
Well, congratulations on being a state champion. Well deserved. I got to ask you real quick, where does the love for volleyball come from for you?
I grew up playing volleyball, and this season it was really special because I got to play with my sister, and I played alongside her for multiple years, but then to win a state championship with her was really exciting.
And then you kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but what is it like to play for Coach Rhodes, who came back. She'd been there for a long time, kind of stepped aside, and then the coaching change in the offseason. What was that like to get her back on the sidelines?
Yeah, obviously she has a lot of experience, and her and Miss Hoopman are not just great people, but they're also just great volleyball coaches. They have so much experience, so much knowledge to give you, and they've just really made me a better player.
Well, Avynn, congratulations again on being a state champ, and congrats on being our athlete of the week for state volleyball. Thanks for taking a few minutes to visit with me.
Thank you.
Time for our Wyopreps Athlete of the Week honors, and we look back at the state football championships and a unanimous pick from our staff here at Wyopreps. None other than Bridger Cozzens from Little Snake River, helping the Rattlers win the 6th title in school history and go undefeated this year with an 87-50 win over Burlington. Bridger joins me now, and I know that Frank talked to you on the field right after the game was done. You guys were celebrating with the trophy and all that good stuff. You've had a few days to reflect on it. Bridger, how is it to be a state champion, my man?
I mean, dude, there is no better feeling. That it's just an awesome feeling. I mean, we're so blessed here, and it feels amazing.
I don't know how many times I've used the phrase have a day, but Bridger Cozzens, you had a day on Saturday. 482 yards rushing. That by far surpassed the 6-man state championship game record by well over 100 yards. You caught, what, a few passes, one pass for 36. It was a touchdown. You had a couple picks on defense. How do you think you played on Saturday?
I mean, I definitely came out with the revenge in mind to beat Burlington. You know, I wanted to come out fast, strong. Um, I think I played pretty good. I played a pretty good game, but I mean, I got to give it all to my blockers. You know, the team. I think the team, each one of those guys, they're the reason I got those touchdowns. I think those touchdowns should be considered everyone's, and so I think I played pretty well. But I think the team overall, we did what we needed to do, and that was the reason we came out on top.
What do you think separated you from Burlington? Because there was a time where you guys are kind of going back and forth and back and forth. What separated you guys from Burlington, do you think, in that game specifically?
Well, momentum is a huge part of 6-man, and so you know, there's just those little momentum boosters we had in the game. I think those were a big turning point. You know, a few picks, a fumble recovery, you know, an onside kick recovery. I think those are all huge, and I think, you know, we just went with that mindset that we're not going to lose this game. I mean, we have to come out on top, and I think that's what we did.
Can you describe, what you're seeing and what you're kind of looking for when you get the ball on the ground? And obviously, there's not as many defenders as an 11-man game, but what are you specifically looking at when you get a ball, when you know you're going to get a rushing attempt?
You know, I think first of all, I think I got to be patient. I got to let my blockers, you know, those blocks develop. The hole just really open. You can really see, and then, you know, that's when I start to attack. And then I look for green grass, trying to get open space. And then usually we'll have a couple of defenders I need to beat. So usually I try and think of my next move and what I need to do to beat those guys. And usually that's what I'm just doing.
What do you think maybe in your game you improved from last year to this year that made you so successful?
You know, I think just workouts in the summer. You know, I think just given the senior year, I mean, you just come out, you're ready for your last year, and you want it to be the best year. And so I think, you know, just that mentality. And then I think I've definitely gotten faster than last year. So I think that definitely helps. So I think that I'll contribute.
Let me ask you one that most people don't talk about, but your balance as a runner. Whenever you get hit, sometimes you're almost like a pinball where you're bouncing off one guy to the next, but you seem to keep your balance. And then when you have that chance to burst, you do. Where does that balance aspect come from?
You know, I actually have no idea. Like I used to do tumbling when I was little, but I think of wrestling maybe. I don't know. I don't know where it really comes from, but you know, I'm glad it's there.
Did you work a lot on your core? Because I mean, your balance kind of comes from core strength, I think. Did you work on that a lot?
I mean, we hit core a little bit, but that's not really our main focus. I mean, not really, but I don't know.
All right, maybe it's just those powerful squatty legs of yours. They combined with the speed. I don't know, my man. Defensively, you don't get a lot of talk about your defense. You still had 11 tackles, 2 picks, a pass breakup, and a half tackle for loss. How do you assess how you played defensively?
Defensively, I think we played pretty good. I think, you know, the team struggled a little here and there. Burlington, they have a good offense. You know, they got some athletes, so I think that's definitely helping them out. But I think defensively we played pretty all right. I think just reading, those little dump offs, and then you got to trust your team defensively. You got to make sure that they're going to do their part, and so you trust the safeties, you trust your linemen. So then, as a linebacker, it's my job to just kind of read those little dump plays, and then when I see that run, I just attack it.
What was there anything that kind of stood out about maybe your team's mentality on the big stage this year compared to a year ago this time?
I mean, I think we definitely came out, with that revenge on mind. I think last year, I mean, that sucked. I mean, I never want to feel that again. And so I think this year we came out with the mentality we're going to win this game. And I think we were nervous, but me personally, I wasn't as nervous as last year. It's a big stage, but I think we were ready for it this time. It was just another game to us. And so I think we came out with that, and that really helped.
How different is it for you guys to play in War Memorial versus just playing on a regular 6-man field? How different is that for you guys?
I mean, it's a little different. I mean, like the field dimensions and stuff are a little whack, and it's a big stadium. It's a lot to look at, but I think for us, I think we played it like it was another game, and we treated it like it was our home field.
Well, congratulations on an outstanding season, but in particular, congrats on a big championship game and well deserved, my man. You are our athlete of the week once again.
Thank you, David.